Alright guys, give me a second here, let me turn this. Alright, so working on the SU a little bit today. Putting on the wing ordnance. That way I can get it on the CG machine with everything like I'm going to fly it. So this is the configuration I'm going with. I'm not going to run anything on that center one. A lot of jets, or a lot of the SUs I see pictures of don't even have that on. So I may take it off. But I did go today and I put the wing tip here. Let me just do this and put it on my head here. Sorry guys, sorry. There we go. All right, so make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing here. But if you remember, the wings didn't have the screws in the end for the, you know, like the lollipop setup they do on these. So I had to put it on, tape it up, and then draw. What I did is I got it where I needed it, then I went around and outlined it, took it off, and made marks where the lollipops were, and drilled a hole and put the screw in. Then I took some high saw with a tip on it. Where did I go with my tip? I might have already thrown it away. Yeah, with a high saw mix tip, you know, that you put on the tip of these things and it mixes it for you, and shot it in the holes to give it something to you know, to adhere to inside there. There was wood, but not much. And then I greased the screws, I went with the longer 3mm 3M screws and ran them in with some oil on them. That way it wouldn't stick, and then just let them cure. And they seem to be nice and tight now. Should hold that missile. That was what I was worried about, having all that weight out there, because they are forward of the actual, you know, where it mounts, because they kind of lock in right here. But both wings are done now. I went back and I dropped CA in all the screw holes. Some of the screws were too short, so I put longer screws in, and then just did a lot of tightening up, cleaning up. These things are solid. That's probably the loosest one, but it's just because it's so tall. But it should be just fine. And then, you know, it's on the wing. So there you guys go. Can I see that's looks good. So, and I'll have the two center missiles, which are two of those, and then the two that run below the inlets on both sides are also two of those. So it'll be all you know, loaded up. And that's the reason why I didn't get the thrust vectoring, because the SU, the Ukraine's SUs don't have it, from what I understand. Plus, I didn't want to fool with the extra weight, and I don't typically fly that way anyway. So I wanted to put the ordnance on and everything, save the weight. I also been working on the cockpit. I went ahead and everything's in here now. I've got the tray in. You know, these are the connectors here. So nice and easy. Those two front ones are for the power system. These two are for the turbine batteries. Air tanks are in. I have to tie up the red and black lines for the battery leads. That's about it for that. And I also worked on the cockpit a little bit. I had to brainstorm on how to do this, and what I ended up doing is I glued, God, that's so heavy. Of course I need the weight. As of right now, I need the weight. So I glued the front panel on, because there's no front support, so it kind of teeters. So what I'm going to do is, the way I'm going to put it in, you'll have, this will go in first. I'll do this. There's a method to it. There you go. Uh-oh, hold on. You gotta get over, there we go. You gotta get over that, there we go. Goes in nice and easy here. And in the rear you put the two, oops. It's not gonna stay because I don't have the screw, but you put two screws there in the back. and then you put the other bucket in and put the 2 screws in that. And it's going to go just like that. So I don't have the seats in at the moment. I was started on the stock seats, but they're just so bad. They're just horrible. Some of them are broke anyways. So I had to, I started piecing them back together, and these things are just crap. I mean, look at that. You know, that's a, it just sits inside and it's just crap. Brittle. And these are solid resin. These things weigh a ton. I was worried that they would have broke off. They would have probably broke off the cockpits because they're mounted at the bottom. And these would have broke off. I mean, these are half a pound. Between those 2 pieces and these 4 little things, it's 0.6 of a pound. So it's almost half a pound of weight. And I actually found a 3D print file for the actual Russian seats, and having a buddy doing a resin print on them, just like I did the seats for the F-15 and the A-7 and the F-22. So I'm going to do that from now on with all models, is just ditch the seats and resin print them, because it's less weight, it doesn't melt, and they look they're super scale versus the expensive crap you get with these that look like crap. And a lot of people are saying, well, if you want a detailed copy, you got to pay. I'm like, well, not really, because I'm take all these seats that I've printed and the ones I got coming, and you could easily, you know, for the price of a bottle of whiskey, have a extremely detailed cockpit, way more of a nice little setup. It doesn't have to be perfect scale master crap, but it's so much better than what they give you. And they charge $200, $300, $400 for their cockpits. They're ridiculous. Half the time they're broke when they show up, because they cram them in the fuselage. And no matter what you do, they melt from the heat. Like I don't keep my jets out in the sun, and just from me rolling out the Minion jet from my tent to the startup area, starting it up and then flying in actually pretty cool weather, the cockpit dashes in the Minion jet have already started to sag and melt. So won't have to worry about that with doing something like a resin printed. And you can get panels and stuff too, like these panels and stuff that you see. You can get, there's 3D files for those too. So I don't understand why they're still doing this crap that they're doing. Just 3D, you know, resin print something. It's light. It looks really scale, and the cost of production would be way cheaper than having to do all this junk, and it'll look better. So anyways, off my hot hours, but that's where I'm at. I'm pretty much done at this point. Yeah, I mean, once I get the seats will be painted black and mounted into the buckets, and then I will CG it at that point. So between waiting on the seats, hopefully I'll get them, you know, here pretty soon, so I can finish this guy up. It's going to be a while before I can fly it, because the flying season's kind of over, and I don't fly anything big like this at my local field. So, but oh yeah, I do still need to put the chute in and attach it, but that's an easy thing, or I say that, but the rest of it's just set up at this point. So yeah, kind of getting to the end of it. This will probably be the last video I do on it until it's done and everything's programmed, and I'm starting motors and just playing around, taxing it and stuff. So yeah, so another one down, it looks like. Almost down anyways. I take it back up. I'm gonna do another video definitely of doing the CG on it, because I want to use that, do a video on the new CG machine that I have. You know, use the Zycoy pucks, and then you put it on this basically an X with the slides, and it has measurements already right there. And I'll do it one just to help me learn it. It's not hard. You just got to do a few things, and it's got instructions on it, on how to walk through it. I just want to do a video to kind of show people how to use it. and how nice it is. I mean, it's expensive, don't get me wrong, but it's totally worth it, you know, for me to try to draw marks and stuff on the floor or on the table. It should make all this stuff quick and painless, and make me actually want to use the scales, the Zycoy CG machine, more than I do, because that way it takes the guesswork out of it on your measurements. So all right, so you guys have a good one. It's been a haul on this one, just because I've been doing it a little bit at a time, you know, try not to burn myself out. I want to enjoy it, you know, enjoy the builds. That's a hobby. You should enjoy it, and if you're not, you should probably take a break, or, you know, I don't want to say, hey, oh, you don't need to be in the hobby. No, you get burnt out. I get burnt out, so you take a little break, do something else, and you know, you come back to it. So that's kind of what I did after last summer, and I've been enjoying it a lot more. Had a super great time at Georgia Jets, and looking forward to next year, because I'll have all these things done and flying next year. So it's kind of sad because I don't have nothing to work on this winter, really. Once I get a motor for the F-15, you know, that'll just be putting it back together and getting it set up again. So yeah, so I'm going to focus on playing guitar. I've been trying to track down a ESP guitar, an electric ESP that they don't make anymore. And I got a buddy that is in the industry, and he's a musician, and he's trying to help me. You know, he knows people at ESP, so he's trying to help me track one down. So hopefully I can track one of those down, and spend the winter playing some guitar. Kind of get back to that a little bit, since I don't have anything else to build. I do need to finish the trim work in here and the outlets, but I'll do that over the winter too. That's just busy work. But yeah, if you guys want to see something in particular, let me know. I've got to CG this one and set it up. Got to CG the F-22 and set it up. I've you know, I hate to say it, but I almost want to take the power system I have in there, since I switched over to the DLPH2 versus my old Mcotech systems. I almost want to pull that one out and just run a DLPH2 in that one, just like I'm doing everything else now. But man, that would be a PETA, having to pull all that wiring out and rerun servo wires and do all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. I might just go with it, and if I ever need to do like maintenance on it or something down the road, or take it apart for something, I may do it at that point, but not now, I don't think. So anyways, I'll shut up. You guys have a good one again, and if you want to see something, want to know something, want me to do a video on anything particular, let me know. I still got to do a video on setting up that Futaba 553s and everything. So more to come. You guys have a good one. Cheers.